Hello, thank you for joining us for the very first meeting of the Cloud and Technology User Group of Olympia. I'm Derek Stanford. I'm CTO of Keeper AI and I serve as a state senator, and I'll be your host today. We have some wonderful panelists with us and a really special keynote. So, to start us off, I'm excited to introduce Denny Heck. He's no stranger to the challenges and opportunities of technology. He has started businesses as a technology entrepreneur, and he was a founder of TVW. After serving 4 terms in Congress, he was elected as the 17th Lieutenant Governor of Washington State. Let's hear from Denny Heck.
Thank you very much, Senator Stanford, for that kind introduction. It's a particular honor to stop by for the inaugural meeting of the Cloud and Technology User Group of Olympia. What a mouthful. May you be a seed that blooms 1,000 flowers. My thanks as well to the Olympia University of Business and Technology for their sponsorship of today's events. Obviously wouldn't happen without them. Thank you. But before I begin, I would like to take the opportunity to say just a word or two about Senator Stanford. And let me say up front that, number one, he is simply an outstanding legislator. And frankly, my friends, that's saying quite a lot. Number two, not just the first legislative district, but the entire state of Washington is indeed fortunate to have someone with his expertise and intelligence on the truly critical issues, important issues of the day. You know, I began my service as a legislative staff member 48 years ago, and I know for a fact that Derek Stanford is the very first person to have a PhD in statistics to serve. And look, folks, this is the digital age. This is exactly the kind of experience that just has to be a part of the mix in our public policy-making process. We are lucky to have him. And frankly, we are lucky you have formed the Cloud and Technology User Group with its very timely and very important purpose of, well, multi-purposes, advancing cloud migration and updating storage management and serving customers better online and enhancing cybersecurity, all the rest. Because again, well, this is the digital age. You know, when I left Congress, I was presented with this hard drive. It is my entire 8 years in the U.S. House. Every letter written by our office, every memo written to me by my staff, every speech I delivered, every daily schedule, 7 days a week, 365 days a year, and the briefing documents that were attached to them, every one of my appearances on television, hundreds, and so much more, way more. I was frankly stunned at the depth and breadth of material. And I tell you that because it occurred to me that this is how we are now capturing information and documentation and history. So the entire infrastructure associated with that becomes, across the board, highly critical. The capacity, the protocols, the management, the architecture, all of it is something that we simply can't leave to chance or happenstance. During the time I served in Congress, I also had a front row seat to the issues surrounding the importance of cybersecurity. I was frankly privileged to sit on the Intelligence Committee. And you all know the cyber issues it has dealt with over the last several years. They were very public, and they were issues of profound importance to our national security. But I also sat on the Financial Services Committee. And I well remember this one time talking with a major bank and having them tell us that they receive more than 1 million attempts a day to hack their IT systems. I would literally wake up in the middle of the night at times, worried that somebody someday would finally successfully pull that off and cause the entire economic system to tailspin, if not collapse. And I had 2 takeaways from all of that experience. My first was that the real threat to our nation doesn't so much come just from other countries' bullets and rockets as from its hackers. But we still keep investing in tanks. Indeed, for as much as we are pouring into matters related to cybersecurity, it simply does not match the level of threat. It just doesn't. And second, in a state of complete candor here, our collective cybersecurity hygiene sucks. I know mine does. So any and all of your efforts in this regard are vital, period. Now, from a state government perspective, I frankly still look at your efforts with a great deal of optimism. There is so much good to be done here as a result of your work, so much progress to be had, and it is all so worthwhile. Better analytic tools, stronger cybersecurity, faster, more efficient ways to do more with less. It won't be easy. It's going to be hard. After all, in state government, our systems are mostly old and big and complex and function in a way that does not allow for any interruption. We don't have a choice. Those unemployment checks have to get out or people's lives are damaged. We recently learned that lesson somewhat painfully. And let's face it, change is hard. As Albert Einstein famously once said, the two most powerful forces on the face of the earth are compound interest and the status quo. But at the end of it all, the word that springs to mind is again worthwhile. You all are playing a part in that. I know I speak for a lot of people. It is my job, after all, when I say thank you.